Oh howdy all, grab yourself a drink, it is time for some PathOfExile discussion. Today I wanted to point out one of the most significant posts that's been made over on the PathOfExile subreddit in quite some time. And this is a whole bunch of information about loot from 1,000 blueprint wings. This might not seem all that significant, but the same user, who is someone that has a long trustworthy history on the PathOfExile subreddit of posting good advice and good information, has also done another 1,000 blueprint wings. But they did the two experiments a little bit differently and they got some very different results. Let's have a look at that. So what I want to focus on is the drop rates of Tailoring and Tempering Orbs specifically, which importantly is not what Rooflet was trying to test with this post. Rooflet's goal with these posts was to test the drop rates of the various Uber amulets that were added to Heist in patch 3.23. Now they didn't get all that much information when it comes to those Uber amulets, but what they did get was 49 of the Heist orbs. Now here when I'm talking about the orbs, I mean Tailoring Orbs and Tempering Orbs specifically. 49 of them in the second batch of 1,000 blueprint wings and 91 of them in the first batch of 1,000. Now this set off alarm bells for me. This made me think something really weird is going on here. So I turned to some statistics, I turned to Microsoft Excel and a chi-squared test, and the results are what you see on the screen at the moment. Basically, for any particular X in 1,000 drop rate that you can come up with for Tailoring Orbs and Tempering Orbs, 7.3% or 73 in 1,000 is the least unlikely possibility to generate 49 and 91. And even with that, you are 1 in 2,241 to get such a variance between your first batch of 1,000 and your second batch of 1,000. Now what this made me think is that perhaps there is a systematic difference in how Rooflet has run these two experiments. And it does turn out that there is when you have a read of all of the rest of the text that Rooflet has written up here. And that is that the first batch of 1,000 rings, this is the one where he got 91 of these orbs, will run as fully unveiled blueprints. The second batch of these will run as single wing blueprints. So these are ones that were dropped and that no additional wings were unveiled on them. They were just run as they were when they dropped. This is really significant because what it indicates is that perhaps the first wing of a heist is meaningfully worse than the second and subsequent wings of that same heist. That is something that I think needs considerably more exploration in the future. Now I think one of the side effects of Last Epoch having such a successful launch is that there's a whole lot of content creators and players both who are overplaying Last Epoch for something a bit fresh and a bit new, and are waiting until patch 3.24 comes out to return to PathOfExile. For that reason, I don't think it's possible to do any really serious testing on this in the remainder of patch 3.23. But when patch 3.24 hits, I do think it's going to be something really worthwhile exploring. What are the differences between the first wing, the second wing, the third wing, and the fourth wing of a blueprint? And also, are there any other factors that might alter the sort of loot that you get out of a blueprint's curios? For example, does increased item quantity on the blueprint actually result in a better blueprint overall, or does it have no effect? A whole bunch of these factors that we don't know anything about are things I'm looking forward to exploring during patch 3.24. Anyways, Rooflet's post has posed some very interesting questions. It hasn't provided the answers yet, but hopefully that's something that we can do as a community effort during the next patch. I'm going to leave it there. May your heist curios contain interesting loot.